Yeah. Numero UNO, me and Drizzy like the Super Bowl, man. Then it big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
Bro, we just had a crazy 2-part dev stream. The second part just came out on Friday. If you guys have not checked it out, I highly recommend you guys going back, or if you just want that quick rundown of what they went over, you're in the right spot. But today we're going to be going over everything important that we just learned from the recent dev stream that we'll be getting with the new latest update coming out in March. Now that we've seen the trailer, we know that the update is coming out in March 19th. This new Warframe update is the Echo update for the 1999. And without making or going into depth with this, 1999 was an amazing update. It had a lot of stuff that they brought in, a lot of content that kept players still grinding to this day. Before we dive into that though, we do have TennoCon 2025 approaching. If you guys have not bought your ticket yet, you guys can get your digital ticket. This makes it the 12-year anniversary of this game, and like every anniversary section of the year, they give us a lot of free loot called the Dex set. So there's Dex skins of a lot of Warframes that they drop, or attachments for those Warframes. This year we're getting a Dex, I want to say ephemera. So last year or the year before that, we got a Dex armor suit for our operator. So they're just kind of like going along with the attachments. So this year is that ephemera. We're getting 4 new Proto frames. These you do have to buy because with platinum, because it is like a Gemini skin with an emote that allows you to transform into that skin. So it's purely cosmetic still. These 4 new Proto frames are going to be in the new expansion of Holofania, which is, the new 1999 hub location. We'll have, I'll say 3 new people to talk to. One being Nova, to where she has a new mission mode called the Temporal Archimedean. Now this, if you're familiar with the Deep Labs Archimedean, is a very hard mode in which you are afflicted by 4 debuffs and you have a limited choice of what you can take in the mission. There's an emphasis on making sure all the weapons that you do have are strong, and it gives incentives for players to dive into weapons they never thought they would like, as well as in-game players to finally have something that is really challenging. The base level to these enemies are 350. The last one was 250, so they can keep going. But yeah, like the Deep Lab Netracells, it takes 2 Netracells to do this one. Players would want to run 1 Deep Lab Archimedea, 1 Temporal Archimedea from Nova, and then you have 1 more left to just do a regular Netracell run by Tafker. You do get more rewards from doing these harder missions, so it is definitely more worth it than just wasting all 5 on the Netracells. But in return, you're not going to waste a Netracell, and it's a lot easier if you do feel like you're not on that level yet. No shame, you still get rewarded with a lot of Archon crystals. But yeah, I believe Saren and Frost Proto frames, if you talk to them, they just have like a lot of cool stuff. You can buy a lot of new fashion and furniture and things for places where you can decorate, like your room that you have in 1999, your Zeramin apartment, your orbiter. A lot of crazy things that people are going to do now because they are bringing a lot. I don't know if you see my old video, but there was a lot of 1999 furniture coming out. But I'm hyped. That Temporal Archimedea, I think this one might be a little different though, because you can have stickers in which can help you kind of counteract some of the debuffs that you'll go through. The stickers may function like mods to where that if you did use it, there's either a usage or it goes away in some sort. So I'm excited to dive into this and create a guide for you guys. We're getting 18 or more weapons with this update. These infected liches are going to pop up once you have one ready and active as a malware virus on your PC, your ROM PC. I forgot what you call it, but you just click on it and you can see the details just like any other adversary that we had. So it's cool. I like the uniqueness, and it's This game is just growing to be better and better. But like I said, new weapons. We got like 18 plus weapons coming. The other ones that I was talking about was the Riot 848 pistol that they mentioned that's coming out, which is like an Entrati weapon, in which like you shoot the bullets, and then after you shoot the bullets, they come back to the gun to reload. So it's a very nice design that I'm excited to use that. I don't know if it'll replace my Latum, but we'll see. And then of course we have the the new guitar weapon, which is Temple's signature weapon. Even though the guitar is not universal to all Warframes, that guitar can still be modded as an exalted weapon, which I will get into later on in the video. But speaking of Temple, if you're curious on what this guy can do, he is basically like a version 2 Octavia, but with the twist. You can't make your own music on the guitar and have him play it, but it is cool. His first ability is like flame pillars that spread flames to people. The thing is that he has a passive, which is a metronome, in which if you activate your ability right in the middle of the metronome, you would gain an efficiency buff, so it costs less to do it, and you deal more damage. And then as it like builds up from successful timing, it'll start to just deal more damage. His second ability, I believe, was speakers that makes you more vulnerable to crit damage. So that's, oh yeah, you already know that the modding is going to be crazy. Then we have his third ability, in which Megan kept pushing on accident. I know Pablo was getting mad, but it's like a jam out move where you just gain buffs. And then you have his fourth ability, which brings out his exalted guitar, which turns into like a flamethrower that's just crazy heat damage. There is a new game mode coming out with this Echoes update, one being that new Archimedean mode, the other being a new mode in which you can gain temple parts, I believe, where you have to protect him as he jams out during his session. He's for sure attracting a lot of infected or technocycotas towards him, so you gotta protect him at all costs. It's like a 3-wave defense mission with a Demolist dude at the end that you gotta kill. Next we're getting Jari Deluxe. Jari's deluxe skin is so nice. I think she only has one skin and it's so clean. It's like the Kuva variant, but this skin is just, she cannot miss with any of her skins, and I highly recommend it if you are a Jari main. A crazy surprise is that we're getting another game mode called Warframe Kart, or Mario Kart Warframe, where you legit get to do this little time trial on your bike. It's a fun little mini game that you can do with your K-Drive or your motorcycle, a Tommy cycle. But I like it. You know, we got Frame Fighter. I hope NetherRealm Studio polishes that, but we also got that new one they did with the 1999 update, and then we have this one. There's just more. You got the secret Flappy Bird one with Zephyr. Now earlier I was mentioning the exalted weapons. I think I was talking about Temple's exalted guitar. The exalted weapons are getting a rework, which is crazy because legit every Warframe that has an exalted weapon or a weapon that they use for them is going to get a Bonkai. They're getting stronger because now we're allowed to place certain mods and arcanes on it, and more mods are being more accessible to those exalted weapons, allowing them to be more stronger. Ash is getting a rework, which is awesome. I already got a look at what they're changing for him. More Warframe augments that are coming out. I think the main one they showcased was Wisp's augment that changes her fourth from a beam turning into an orb that, you know, gravitates enemies towards it and all that stuff. I knew they were going to do this because, for one, I thought Corvex was the winner of the Beam Tenogen. So they're dropping a few more newer items representing Tenogen. The community designed all of these that you were seeing, so you can always go hyped for that stuff. That's pretty much it. They did a lot of surprises and stuff for this Warframe update. This was the part 2. I feel so bad I didn't even mention the ephemeras. So killing any adversary, whether it's a Kuva Lich, a Tenant Sister, or this new infected Technocycota, you would get a weapon and then an ephemera. I think with this one they're going to be giving us cosmetics like costumes and floofs. but we are also getting the weapons that we can obtain from turning in the tokens, and we also are getting the ephemeras as well. And they showcased all of them, some representing like an aura, glowy energy type of design, while the other one was like a more infected, gruesome type of design. So it's pretty cool. It's its own category of style, so I like it. But let me know what you guys like from this upcoming update. Hey, technically 18 more days, but like always, I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. You guys be safe, keep up the grind, and peace.
Okay, no help, nigga. I'm straight. Where it at? On the way. Pray to God every day.